All right.
Awesome,
And
awesome.
we
I love
are
it.
going to be joined with Kim on
Yes,
this technology. Okay.
yes.
Hello.
Hey, Kim.
How are you all doing?
Good. It is
Awesome.
Awesome,
wonderful to
awesome.
have you.
It's
Yes,
great to
yes.
be here.
Awesome to have you.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, so we've been watching you, Kim, all over California and doing your thing, helping women level up and learn how money works for them. I appreciate you so much for doing the work that you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much. It was just an incredible kind of book tour that I just finished in California yesterday. I flew back to Atlanta last night, but started in the northern part of the state and made my way down over the week, all the way down to San Diego, and ended with the news interview that I did in San Diego and a really big women's event that night. And we had a lot of guests come in who had watched the TV interview to come and be part of the event that night.
Oh, that's awesome. Way to
That is
Yes.
definitely
awesome.
build up that visibility. I love that.
Well, absolutely.
Yes.
And what it does is it really confirms that there is a need for financial literacy information for men and women, but for women in particular out there.
So
That is
true.
awesome. That is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So, Tony, I know you probably have something to say because I appreciate you, brother. You just like, you're my brother from another mother. So I appreciate you. And I appreciate you being the connecting person that brought Kim to us. Even though I can see in the pictures, we both met her in person, but we know you get here all the time and talk to her. So please tell everybody a little bit about Kim.
Well, I met Kim because I joined this amazing financial group called Wealthwave, and I heard about this Kim Scouller. Like, she was just the woman that was helping so many women and families all over the country with her campaign to, you know, is it Only Blue Skies, right? Only Blue Skies, which was, from what I learned then, was just designed to just let women know that there really is no limit, right? And there are only blue skies ahead for you. So as a financial educator, I have had the opportunity to learn so much from Kim's business practices, her teaching skills, um, and how she breaks down these concepts to just such simplistic ways for even someone like me to gain some financial growth and development. So it's just been an honor and a privilege to work with Kim. And so when the first book launch happened down in Jacksonville, yes, I and a few people from my team had a chance to be there and just help the event. Got a chance to meet Sharon, the other co-author. And I just got to tell you guys, if you haven't registered for this event, you're going to want to go ahead and do it, because Kim she's everything I said and everything that's in her bio, but she's a really wonderful human being. And she loves seeing our just people grow and develop. She's more than a financial educator. She's more than a writer. Okay. She's a world changer.
I love that. I love that. I don't know if Tony's having some difficulties now, but Kim, we're just you can see that we're just grateful that you're here, and I'm so glad you accepted the invitation to be on the summit. And we don't, I know it's not coincidental, because when I feel like God gave me this vision to have this last year. That this is the second year. I found out, I was like, oh my God, this is financial something month, and then on top of that, it's Women's History Month. So, all of that combined, and then to be able to have you this year, I know it's no coincidence. So thank you so much for accepting the invitation.
Well, it is a really great honor for me, Anita. I just really appreciate you reaching out to me. And, I think the world of what you're doing, your cause, I want to be part of it and help in any way I can. And I just love America's Supermom. Like Lachelle is like my idol. I want to grow up to be just like her. So you all are inspiring women, and I want to be part of anything that you all are part of.
Oh, that is awesome. That is awesome.
I definitely want to say that everything that Tony said is so true. It really resonates with me. I haven't known Kim long, but I do have a copy of her book. I was able to go to the pre-launch and then the book launch that she had here in Atlanta. And it was just a wonderful opportunity to see her in her element, because to me, you can just feel the passion that she has to be able to share all the insights and wisdom that she knows with people that are interested in hearing it. I think I really appreciate how she is able to do that, because not everybody wants to hear what you want to say. I get that a lot of time at home, right? I still have 10 kids and I can tell them something. They just like, what is she talking about? And I've learned the hard way that sometimes people aren't ready for it, and so you just have to give them that space and time to receive it when they can. But I do have a question about being a pioneer. That's what I would say, because, I've heard of How Money Works, the book. And then I was really intrigued. I was invited by a gentleman to come to the launch that was in Atlanta. And I hadn't heard about, How Money Works for Women. So to me, I just think it's being a trailblazer. So when you think about people that are watching now and they are, even just for women, especially since it's Women's History Month, what advice would you give them about being a trailblazer, doing something different than anybody else?
Well, I loved what Anita said earlier about just doing it scared.
Mm-hmm.
I'd never written a book before. I'm a lawyer. That's my background. I've been a lawyer this year is 35 years. And so I kind of, write like a lawyer. I think like a lawyer, but I didn't want to write a book that sounded like a lawyer wrote it. I wanted to write a book that would be accessible to women, that women would want to read it. It'd be a quick read. It'd give the basic information. It'd explain it in a way that, women would understand. Anyway, I didn't know the first thing. And I wrote and wrote and wrote and wrote, and I had no idea whether what I was writing was good or not. I didn't know whether it was just a bunch of checklists. And I would ask my friends, my colleagues, who were mostly men, to read it. And they're like, I don't know. I'm a man. I don't know. And it was, but you just got to do it scared. I knew there was need for this. I knew women wanted to hear it. I would go, on Amazon. I would go to Barnes and Noble. I would see books for women that were more like textbooks and more complicated. And that's fine. But we women lead big lives and we're multitasking. And I wanted to write a book that shows up for women where they are. And Sharon Lecter, my co-author, who is a CPA, feels exactly the same way. Now, Sharon has a lot more experience writing books than I have. She co-wrote Rich Dad, Poor Dad with Robert Kiyosaki. She wrote 14 other books in the Rich series. She wrote Think and Grow Rich for Women, 3 Feet from Gold, Outwitting the Devil, just to name a few New York Times best-selling books. And she was assuring me, it looks good, it looks good. But it was, she was writing this with me, and I just had no frame of reference. Is this good? Is it just Kim Scouller's crazy brain, writing a bunch of checklists? And it was so well received. We had a pre-launch in Atlanta, then we had the main launch in Jacksonville, and then we did another launch in Atlanta for our Atlanta colleagues. And everywhere we went, the book was so well received. But you've got to do what you believe in your heart is right, and you've got to do it scared.
That's awesome. So we have Tony back. So Tony, want to give you the opportunity to ask a question, because I could be here all day. I'm like, hey, she's the captive right now. We have her on camera. Let me ask as many questions as I can.
Right. Lachelle, don't forget to look in the chat too to see if we have any folks that have questions also.
Okay.
And I'm looking in the chat as well. But Kim, let me ask you something. We've been circulating, how money works, and now how many works for women, the how many works series for some time now.
Right.
What do you see are some barriers people may have to actually taking action beyond what they read?
I think the barriers people have to action are all in their head. I think some people would think it's all in their wallet, but it's not in their wallet. It's in their head. So you just have to do it. You've got to start putting money aside. You've got to start doing your research. You've got to start attending events like the upcoming summit to learn more. You've got to network with really smart people like the panelists you heard earlier today. You've got to get out there and do it. Or your Monday is going to be exactly like last Monday. Or your year is going to be exactly like last year. Unless you take the steps in your head and then move your feet. There's nothing we can do for you other than share our knowledge and be supportive. You've got to get it in your head and make a commitment that you're going to make your next Monday different from the previous Monday.
That is awesome.
Drop the mic.
All right. Just drop it, leave the stage. That's it. Mm-hmm. That is amazing, Kim. So while you were talking, I was thinking about, because I only have right now, Tony, I still just only have the preview, but I'm not going to blame him. I love you, brother. I love you. It's not his fault, though. For real. But seriously, when I was looking through, the preview book, and I was trying to identify, because I loved at the launch you had here, and me and Lachelle knew each other and didn't even know we was in the same room. We didn't even see each other. We're in the same internationally famous book that we are co-authors in the same room. Didn't know it, but that's a whole other thing. But I was trying to identify with one of the ladies in the book, and this doesn't really outline them like I thought it would when I was looking through it and reading some of it. But I think one of the ladies that I identified with, I identified a little bit with all of them, right? But Sarah came to mind a lot. Right. Not quite sure. I'll be 57 this year. I can't remember her age range or whatever. But I know in the book she talks about, student loans and things of that nature. And I have to be honest. And Tony probably can contest to this, because I've talked to him about, things that I need to establish and do. I was scared to even open up the emails to see the bill from the folks, right. And it makes me think about some of the things that was in the book about mindset and relationship with money and, and all those things. And the quote, I had to write it down, that Lucy had in there. And I was like, I love Lucy. But in the book, it says, not everything that is faced can change, and nothing can change until it's faced. And when I read that, I was like, oh my God, did they were they in my email box? Were they in my house when I was scared to open up the email? So like you said, I fear is a lot. It's in the mindset. So can you talk a little bit maybe about why it's important for women to know how money works for them? Just a little bit.
Well, exactly. The book is, it tells the story of 9 different women, 9 characters whose ages range from 19 all the way to 87, and the different things that they go through in their lives. A lot of the things that women of all ages go through are caregiving responsibilities, from raising children to taking care of aging parents to maybe taking care of a sick partner. Those caregiving responsibilities, because of that, it hurts our career opportunities, and it also, because we're willing to sacrifice our own money to take care of people we love, it puts us in a precarious situation financially. And so I celebrate that women are the caregivers of the world, and I want to give them the tools to be able to be a caregiver. That's what she wants to do, but also make sure that she's taken care of financially. So we tell that story in the book. Now, a lot of it, the majority of the book is research data based, but 3 statistics I'll throw out there. Women earn 82 cents for every dollar earned by a man. By 2030, we will control $30 trillion of the wealth in this country. That's 2/3 of the wealth in the entire country. And then last but not least, 80% of women die single, while 80% of men die married. So we have to step up our game. We've got to stop deferring financial decisions. We've got to get better and smarter about money, because in the end, we're going to hold the bag. So we want to do the right things. In addition to being the caregivers, we are the educators. And so we want to educate the next generation and the generation after that with good, solid financial principles.
Thank you so much for sharing that, Kim. That was awesome. Thank you so much. Do we have any questions in the chat? You all see anything, Lachelle or Tony?
I didn't see any.
No.
Yeah. But I was gonna, we were just gonna go ahead and if you didn't have any more questions, because I know it's time flies when you're having fun, and we definitely appreciate Kim's time this evening. But we were gonna bring the other speakers up so that they could, everyone can go around and share a final thought. Say hi to Kim, because they're like backstage, and we would share everybody's contact information. So, all right. So,